Welcome, friends, to our corner of the world. In the heart of the gleaming, futuristic Hollow City, my partner Ren and I run a little place called Whispering Books. It's not your average bookstore. Here, the books don't just sit on the shelves, they whisper. Each one holds a story that speaks directly to the reader's soul. A quiet murmur of joy, sorrow, love, or adventure, meant just for them. Our shop was a sanctuary, a quiet island of genuine feeling in a city that was rapidly forgetting how to feel. For years we watched people come in, their shoulders heavy with the weight of Hollow City's relentless pace. They'd pick up a book, and as its whispers reached them, you could see the tension melt away. A smile would touch their lips, or a single, thoughtful tear would trace a path down their cheek. This place was more than just a business. It was a home for forgotten emotions, a library of the human heart. Ren and I believed we were the guardians of the city's soul, one whispered story at a time. But one day, a notice appeared on our door. A cold, official document bearing the seal of Hollow City's CEO. The words were stark: demolition. Our sanctuary was to be torn down to make way for another chrome and glass tower, another monument to progress that left no room for the past. I watched the light go out of Ren's eyes. He sank into a chair, the weight of the news crushing him. All our work, all the whispers we protected, were about to be silenced forever. Despair felt like a physical presence in our little shop, thicker than the scent of old paper. We tried everything. We petitioned, we pleaded, we showed them the letters from people whose lives had been touched by our books. But in Hollow City, profit speaks louder than poetry. The appeals were denied. The bulldozers were scheduled. The final night before the demolition, Ren and I stood in the middle of our silent shop. It felt like a wake. The books, for the first time, were quiet, as if they too were mourning their fate. It was Ren who broke the silence. "If this is the end," he whispered, his voice trembling, "then they shouldn't go quietly." It was a crazy idea, born from desperation. A last, defiant act. We would open every single book. Together we moved through the aisles, our hands flying from cover to cover. We opened dusty old tomes, crisp new novels, collections of poetry, and worn children's stories. With each open book, a whisper was released. First a few, then a dozen, then hundreds. Soon, a torrent of voices filled the shop, a symphony of every emotion imaginable. Laughter, weeping, shouts of triumph, murmurs of love, thousands of whispers swirled together, a powerful current of pure human experience. This storm of emotion couldn't be contained by our humble walls. It spilled out of the open door and into the streets of Hollow City. It flowed through the sterile avenues, wrapping around the cold towers and seeping through the cracks of the city's hardened exterior. People stopped in their tracks, hearing faint echoes of feelings they'd long since buried. A memory of a first love, the pang of a long-lost friendship, a surge of forgotten ambition. The soul of the city, dormant for so long, began to stir. The next morning, the CEO himself arrived to oversee the demolition. He was a man known for his cold efficiency, a product of the very city he was building. As he strode towards our bookstore, a single, gentle whisper cut through the noise of the approaching machinery. It was a lullaby, soft and sweet, drifting from a small, open picture book lying near the doorway. The CEO froze. The melody was one he hadn't heard in decades. Tears welled in his eyes as a memory, clear as day, surfaced in his mind. His mother, sitting by his bedside, singing that very song. He stood there for a long time, lost in a memory he thought was gone forever. The cold facade of the CEO crumbled, revealing the man underneath, a man who had once been a boy, loved by his mother. He looked at our little shop, not as an obstacle, but as a source of something invaluable. He slowly raised his hand and spoke a single command. "Cancel the order." The Whispering Books bookstore was saved, but it was more than that. That day, the whispers didn't just save our shop. They reminded an entire city and its leader of the soul they had almost lost. Thank you so much for listening to our story. If it resonated with you, please consider hitting that like button and subscribing to our channel for more tales from our little corner of the world.